1:14. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory, glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. And still Job proceeded and said in the retort, God lived, who thus has judged me, even the Almighty, the one embittering my soul. Is it not yet of my breath to be in me, and the divine breath remains to me in my nostrils? My lips shall not speak lawless things, nor shall my soul meditate upon wrongdoing. May it not be to me to sentence you as just ones, until whenever I die, for I will not dismiss from me my innocence, and taking heed to my righteousness, in no way will I let it go. For I am not, in no way will I let it go. For I am not myself fully conscious of acting out of place. No, rather, but may my enemies be as the undoing of the impious, and the right ones rising up against me as the destruction of the lawbreakers. For what is the hope of the impious that he waits for? Is it in yielding upon the Lord that he shall be delivered? Or will God listen to his supplication? Or when necessities come upon him, shall he hold any confidence before him? Or as one calling upon him, shall he listen to him? But indeed I will announce to you what is in the hand of the Lord, the things which are the Almighty of I shall not lie about. Behold, you know all that you put vanity upon vanity. This is the portion of an impious man from the Lord, and the possession of mighty ones shall come from the Almighty upon them. If his sons become many, they will be for slaughter, and even if they should arrive at manhood, they shall beg. And the ones remaining of his stall shall come to an end in plague, and no one shall come and show mercy on their widows. If we should have gathered together silver as earth, and equally prepared gold as mortar, all these things the just shall procure, and of his things the true ones will control. His house turned out to be as if for a moth, and as if for a spider. The rich man shall sleep, and shall not proceed. His eyes are open wide, and he is no longer. Griefs meet up with him as if waters, and by night the dark takes him. A burning wind takes him, and he shall go forth, and it shall winnow him from out of the place. He shall cast upon him, and shall not spare. He shall flee into exile from out of his hand, and he shall cause man to clap his hands against him, and he shall whistle at him from out of his place. From there is a place for silver, from where it exists, and a place for gold from where it is refined. For iron comes from out of the earth, and brass equally is quarried like stone. He established an order for darkness, and every limit he determines exactly. Darkness and the shadow of death is as a stone. There is a breach of the rushing stream from powder, and the ones forgetting the just way are weakened. Of mortals they are shaken. As for the earth, out of it shall come forth bread, and underneath it was turned as fire. Her stones are the place of the sapphire, and her gold an embankment. There is a road the bird knows it's not, and the eye of the vulture looked not over it. The sons of ostentatious ones trod it not, and a lion went not upon it. He stretched forth his hand in a chiseled place, and overturned mountains by the roots. The hills of rivers he tore up, and my eyes beheld every value. And the depths of the rivers he uncovered, and he shows his power and light. From what place is wisdom found, and of what place is higher knowledge? A mortal knows not her way, and not way she is found among men. The abyss said she is not in me, and the sea said she is not with me. One shall not give an investment for her, and shall not set silver as a bargain for her. She shall not be compared with the gold of Ophir, with valuable onyx and sapphire. For gold and glass shall not be equal to her, nor items of gold as barriers for her. Meteors and crystals shall not be mentioned, but draw on wisdom above the innermost things. The topaz of Ethiopia shall not be equal to her. She shall not be compared with pure gold. But concerning wisdom, from what place shall she be found? Of what kind of place is understanding? She has escaped notice of every man, and from the birds of the heavens she was hid. Destruction and death said, we have heard of her fame. God commended her way well, and he knows her place. For he inspected all things under heaven, knowing the things on the earth, all which he made, even the weight of the winds and the measures of water. When he made them, thus seeing he counted them, and made a way for the vibration of sound. Then he beheld it, he described it, and prepared it, tracked it down. He said to man, behold, godliness is wisdom, and being at a distance from evils is higher knowledge. But still Job spoke the retort, Oh, that he might have put me according to the month before the days of which God guarded me, as when his lamp shone over my head, when I went through darkness by his light, when I was in the days of my youth, and when God, overseeing, dwelt with my house, when I was exceedingly flesh, and round about me were children. So when ways poured forth butter, and my mountains poured forth milk, when I went forth at daybreak into the city, and then placed my chair in the squares, beholding me, the young men hid, and all the men stood. The stout men ceased speaking, placed their fingers to their mouth, and the ones hearing declared me blessed, and their tongues cleaved to their throats. For the ear heard, and they blessed me, and the eye beholding turned aside. For I delivered the poor from out of the hand of the mighty one, and the orphan in whom there was no helper I helped. May the blessing of the one perishing come upon me, for the month of the widow blessed me. And righteousness I had put on, and I clothed on judgment equal to a double garment. I was the eye of the blind and the foot for the lame. I was the father of the disabled, and I tracked out the cause which I knew not. I broke the molars of unjust ones, and from out of the midst of their teeth I pulled out the prey. I said, my stature shall grow old as the trunk of a palm. I shall spend life with much time. The root was widened upon the waters, and the dew lodged around my harvest. My glory was new with me, and my bow went forth in his hand. Men hearing of me took heed, and kept silent over my counsel. At my word they proceeded not, but they became overjoyed when I spoke to them. As the earth thirsting favorably, receiving the rain, so were these at my speech. If I should have laughed on them, in no way should they have trusted the things, and the light of my face was not fallen away. I chose their way, and I sat as ruler. I encamped as king among armed ones, in which manner comforting mourners. A good name is more preferred than many riches, and good favor over silver and gold. Rich and poor meet with one another, but the Lord made them both. For a clever man, seeing the wicked forcefully being punished, is himself corrected, but the fools passing by are penalized. The fear of the Lord is the generation of wisdom, and riches and glory in life. Thistles and snares are in crooked ways, but the way guarding his own soul is at a distance from them. Dedicate the child according to his way, and indeed if he should grow old, he will not depart from it. The rich shall control the poor, and servants will lend to their own masters. The one sowing heedlessly harvests bad things, and the calamity of his works he shall complete. A happy man and a giver God loves, and the folly of his works he shall end. The one showing mercy on the poor nourishes himself, for of his own bread loaves he gives to the poor. The one giving gifts procures victory and honor, however it removes the life of the ones possessing. Cast out from the Sanhedrin the mischievous one, and altercation shall go out together with him, for whenever he sits in the Sanhedrin he dishonors all. The Lord loves sacred hearts, and all unblemished ones are acceptable to him in their ways. For a king tends with his lips, but the eyes of the Lord carefully keep good sense. He treats as worthless the words of a lawbreaker, and the lazy one makes an excuse, and says, there's a lion in the streets, in the squares are murderers. The mouth of the lawbreaker is a deep cesspool, and the one being detested by the Lord shall fall into it. Thoughtlessness lights up the earth of a young person, but the rod and instruction will drive it far from him. The one extorting the needy produces many evils for himself, and he gives to the rich to make it less. Set aside your ear to the words of the wise, and hear my words. Set your heart that you should know, for they are good, and if you put them in your heart, they shall gladden you at the same time upon your lips. That your hopes should be upon the Lord, for he shall make known to you his ways. But also you register them to yourself, even thrice for counsel and knowledge. I teach you then a true word, and knowledge good to hearken to, for you to answer words of truth to the ones propounding things to you. Do not repel the needy, for he is poor. You shall not dishonor the weak at the gates, for the Lord will arbitrate his cause, and you shall rescue your soul against reprisal. Be not a companion to a man inclined to rage, and a friend prone to anger do not lodge with, lest at any time you should learn of his ways, and should receive nooses for your soul. Do not give yourself for surety, shaming the face, for if you should not have from any place to pay, they shall take the bedding under your sides. Do not remove the everlasting boundaries which your fathers set. An observant man, and one sharp in his works, must stand beside kings, and should not stand beside dull men.
2 Timothy 1, 7 through 9. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor of me his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel, according to the power of God, who hath saved us and called us with a holy calling, not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace, which was given us in Jesus Christ before the world began. This is the ancient Chinese story about a great general named Zhu Zilong, who found himself trying to hold a small city named Shijiang with a handful of soldiers, while the main army was fighting elsewhere. When a large enemy army approached, Liang gave orders for the gates to be thrown open, clothed his few soldiers as civilians, and set them to working sweeping the streets. Set on a raised platform by the gate, playing a guaopin, an instrument similar to a flute. And when the enemy army arrived, their commander-general surveyed the situation, knowing Liang's reputation as a cautious military leader and strategist. The general immediately ordered a full retreat, fearing that Zhu Liang was trying to lure him into a trap. The victory was won by the sight, not governed by fear. To say that Christians should not live fearfully does not mean that there are no real problems or dangers that we must face. If the enemy is active every day seeking our destruction, we must be on guard. The key to living without fear is understanding that we are on the winning side, and though there are battles in this world, the ultimate victory has already been settled, for we must live in faith in that victory. When we do, we will not be conquered by fear, for whosoever is born of God overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. For God has already won the battle, and if we walk by faith in his promises, we will overcome the world.